Hello and welcome back to, you know, me doing stuff on the internet, I guess. Do. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, so, for this video, I plan on going down the Mike Metzer rabbit hole. So, we're going to use YouTube and Google to understand. But I don't really want to use other people. So,
Recently, one of my phone clients expressed considerable astonishment that he was able to make
we
so
might
much
be going
uninterrupted
to,
progress with heavy-duty, high-intensity training.
shorts.
And I explained to him that such should not be a surprise, that there's no mystery to any of this, that people have been growing larger muscles for thousands of years, that we live in a knowable, rational universe of absolute, clear-cut identity, guided by one set of never-changing principles, and that the cause-effect relationship between intense exercise and muscle growth has been understood for quite some time, and that once these causes are understood, the task of building bigger muscles while requiring high-intensity effort is actually rather simple. Recently, one of my phone... It wasn't until I reduced their training frequency to once every 4 to 7 days...
Oh, he has a YouTube channel. 2 videos.
...properly conducted high-intensity training program, you will grow stronger each and every workout. And make no mistake, listener, developing stronger muscles is a prerequisite of developing bigger muscles. Whenever someone starts to argue with me on that point, I say, what is...
Okay. Fuck me then. Computer. Just kick me out. Let's keep doing that. It's like a ghost is in the shell. Stupid ghost machines.
What is one supposed to do to grow larger? Get weaker? Yes, if you want to grow larger, you must grow stronger.
True.
There is definitely a relationship between strength and muscular size. Most obvious is the fact
Bigger
that
muscles,
heavyweight
stronger you are.
weightlifters and powerlifters are stronger than lightweight lifters. And everyone listening to this who ever developed larger muscles observed an attendant increase in strength. No one who ever lifted weights grew larger without growing stronger. It just doesn't happen. It was discovered by exercise scientists long ago that the strength of a muscle is related to the size of its cross-sectional area. Many are still confused on this subject because they see some who are smaller, who possess less muscle mass,
But are
that can
stronger.
lift more weight than other larger, more heavily muscled individuals. The mistake here is in attempting to draw a meaningful comparison between two different individuals. The fact is that the man was smaller.
No 2 people are the same, so if you see someone smaller than you but stronger than you, it's in their genetics.
Muscles will grow larger only as he grows stronger, and likewise, the larger man will grow larger still only as he grows stronger. Don't make the mistake of comparing yourself to others. The only person you can accurately compare yourself to is you. And as long as you are increasing in strength as a result of each workout, you are heading in the right direction.
Now, when he said the only person you could compare yourself to you is the mentality of it's you versus you, it's never you versus someone else. Because, yeah, he's a bodybuilder, yes, but if you're just in the gym working out, trying to get stronger, ignore the other guys. Because, you know, especially if you're a beginner, you're going to feel intimidated because some guy's stronger than you, some guy's better looking than you, or more fit. You know, someone's going harder at the gym than you are. But at the end of the day, you don't know how he lives his life. Like, if you're eating right and lifting right, the idea is just to become a better version of yourself.
And you will grow, but only so long as you are on a proper nutrition.
Look at that mustache.
when a person grows stronger week to week. It is proof that there is a positive change taking place inside of his muscles. Since muscles, by definition, lift weights, a muscle growing stronger can't be exactly the same muscle. If it were exactly the same muscle, it would be limited to lifting exactly the same weight. The main point here is that as a muscle grows progressively stronger over a period of time, it is changing somehow. I'm not specifying what that change is now. I will. For now, just remember, if a muscle is growing stronger, it is in a process of positive change. If during this period of change, the bodybuilder continues to consume nutritionally a maintenance level of calories, by definition here, he will only maintain his existing physical mass. He won't.
And for my explanation, because it's what I do, is in order to grow, you need to eat. It's like if you want to lose weight, you eat less, work out more. So if you do count calories, and everything has the maintenance calories of 2,000 calories a day, so that'd be like a maintenance calories for somebody. As for me, when I was trying to get stronger and bigger, I was doing 35. I was trying to get to 4,000 calories. I did. I got my heaviest I've ever been, which was 190 pounds. I reached 2 of my lifting goals. I was able to deadlift 500 pounds and squat 4. Actually, I think I did 415. So that was 2 of my fitness goals that I had in mind. Some reason, anytime I go heavy on bench, I feel it in my shoulder, so I don't think I'll ever be able to bench the 315 mark, which is fine, because I could crank out 225 for about 12 if I'm really good rested and warmed up. But
Lose, he won't gain, he'll maintain. It goes to the laws of physics or thermodynamics. You can't create something out of nothing. You can't build bigger muscles out of thin air. Certain nutritional and caloric values are absolutely required. What the bodybuilder will be doing by consuming a maintenance level of calories is in essence something less than desirable. To some extent at least, he'll be frustrating the needs of the growth mechanism.
is that a weighted chin-up machine? I have never seen that. Oh, sorry.
Failure, which is what nature requires.
I've seen assisted pull-up. I've seen assisted dips and assisted pull-up machines. I have never seen a machine where you strap yourself to a belt and on the weight stack as for a weighted pull-up machine.
One do to trigger the growth mechanism into motion. Also, he is growing stronger. Therefore, the muscle is changing. When the growth mechanism is activated, you might visualize it as a moving conveyor belt of sorts, for lack of a better image, with a number of little men standing on top who are reaching up. They're reaching out to grab the nutritional caloric cement, as I like to call it, that it requires to build the second story, the new mass. But remember, consuming a maintenance level frustrates those little men. They are reaching up, but nothing is there. The body is only receiving enough nutritional and caloric values to maintain the first story, the existing physical mass. In such a case, the muscle change I was referring to earlier, where the bodybuilder is growing stronger, will remain primarily a qualitative strength change. It won't manifest much, if at all, as a quantitative muscle change, i.e., a muscle mass body weight increase. In order to avoid this, the frustrating of the growth mechanism, and to do the opposite, to serve the needs of the growth mechanism, one must consume a number of nutrients and calories above his daily maintenance level. He must go into a positive calorie balance.
He's right about how you need to
I've received many.
gain, like if you want to get bigger and stronger, you need to eat more. But the problem is, like, the more you eat, unfortunately, like there's only a certain point in your body that eventually you will get fat. If you eat too much, unless you're a very big person. Like, I'm 5'5", 5'6" on a good day. And eventually my abs went away and I was just looking bigger. I wasn't looking more muscular or toned. Kind of end up looking like a fat person. So, unless you're a tall person, because then you could eat more, and then you could also, because you're taller, the the supplements and food have other places to go compared to someone short like me. Let's see what else can we do. Let's find some routines. Royalty, rock band, rope, steroids, ROU. Can't spell. Don't judge me. The ideal routine. That's someone else is doing that. That guy's talking. I think that's the same guy. Train like Mike.
4 workout protocol. You will start by training once every 4 days on a 4 workout protocol. So, if you start on a Monday, that means you wouldn't train again till Friday. After Friday, you wouldn't train again till Tuesday, then Saturday, and so forth, once every 4 days. And if a
He's talking about once every 4 days. I feel like that would be more of a beginner workout because you would need the rest period to recover. As for me, I plan on doing a on and off day, so I'll work out one day, take a day off, work out, day off. So I would get my 4 days of working out, but I would also be getting the 3 days of rest. So like Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday would be my rest days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday would be the work day. And then because it's Sunday, I would take that Monday off, the next Monday, and then I would be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then it'd be Monday. But because I'm not going by the calendar week, I'm going by the what muscle I'm working out. So if I work out legs on Monday, I should not work out legs again until next Tuesday. Does that make sense? I'm giving myself ample time of recovery by like for yesterday, when I did legs, I kind of did his one set exercise where I did squats. I was able to get 315 for 12, and then I went to dumbbell RDLs, which was, I think it was like 105 or maybe 110 for 12. Went to the calf raise machine, did 290 for 12. And then after that, I think I went to the leg extension, which was maybe I have it on my phone. Hold on. Ugh. RDLs. Oh, there it is. Leg extensions were. It was 205 for 12. Then straight to leg press for 390 for 12. And after that, walked on the treadmill for a bit. And then I remembered I need to do front delts. So I grabbed the 55 plate and did 12 sets of those. Mike Metzer's 4-day training split.
then 96 hours or 4 days later is
Oh, it's 2-3.
Write
Damn it.
down the words day 2. On day 2, you will train legs. The first
So we're gonna go day
you will
one.
start by training once every 4 days on a 4 workout protocol. So, if you start on a Monday, that means you wouldn't train again till Friday. After Friday, you wouldn't train again till Tuesday, then Saturday, and so forth, once every 4 days. And if a scheduling problem arises, so that you can't make it into the gym on day 4, take off one
Maybe
more
like
day and
2
train
times
on
a
day
week.
5. Also, once you've been with the program for 3 weeks or so, start inserting an additional rest day or 2, even at random. If you do, you should never hit a sticking point, and here's why. As you grow stronger week to week.
See, he was talking about a 4-day, you work out, 4 days off, then you work out. But then he's talking about adding an extra rest day, so it would pretty much be you're working out once a week, which I don't really agree with. But this guy was known for his brain, so it's more or less personal opinion.
Week, as you will with this program. That is, as you lift progressively heavier weights, the stresses on the body grow progressively greater too. Until finally, unless you do certain things like add extra rest days, the stresses will reach a critical point. They'll constitute overtraining. And the first...
I've had those days where I used to work out 6 days a week. And by maybe the last week of the month, I was kind of burnt out, sore. I was more or less just pushing myself there. I wasn't really getting anywhere.
First symptom will be a slowdown in progress, and if you continue with exactly the same volume and frequency protocol, there will ultimately be a complete cessation of progress.
Now, what he was talking about there was the muscle memory. So, like, if you constantly do the same exercises, same days, the same reps, same weight sets, your body will get accustomed to it, so you won't really get anywhere. That's why it's good to switch it up instead of, like, say you do chest, instead of going to a press, do a fly, then a press, but go heavier.
Continue inserting the additional rest days with greater and greater regularity until you are only training once every 5 days. Then start inserting an extra rest day at random.
He's talking about working out pretty much once. He says once every 5 days, but it's more like once a week. And he does full body, because as you can see in the bottom, it says chest and back. So he does chest and back. But I feel like too much rest just makes you compliant and kind of weak.
Next day. Continue inserting the extra rest day or days with greater regularity until you're eventually training once every 6 to 7 days. Once the fundamentals of intensity, volume, and frequency are grasped, this issue becomes the most crucial one of bodybuilding science.
Let's also not forget this is bodybuilding. And these guys are heavily on steroids.
As the weights grow progressively greater, the stresses also grow progressively greater, and they must be compensated for. If after a number of months, utilizing the baseline program while training once every 6 to 7 days ceases to yield meaningful results, switch to the consolidation program. Some may want to have the workout program with the additional points in their training journal to take to the gym, rather than the accompanying booklet. If so, write down the words day 1 close to the upper left-hand corner of your paper, and then write the word chest. Next to it, the number 1. Exercise number 1 for the pecs will be pec deck for 6 to 10 reps to failure. Now, from here on, you won't have to write the words to failure, as that is a given, and 6 to 10 reps is merely a suggested guideline. There is nothing magic about the number 10. If you reach 10, but you see you might go to 13 reps to failure, don't stop at 10, go to 13. And at the other end, if you see by rep 3, you won't reach even 6 reps, but only 4 or 5, don't stop and reload. Get 4 or 5. The next time you'll likely get 6 to 10. And if you don't have access to a pec deck, then flat bench dumbbell flies or cable crosses may be substituted. Directly underneath exercise.
See, the training to failure thing, If you don't have a good nutritional uh, substances, it's not going to really work out for you. It's a good idea, but along with the rest, you do need the proper nutrition, or you're just going to end up injuring yourself. Because a lot of times you see these people on the internet, they'll train to failure every single day until something snaps, and then your body's you're definitely taking those rest days. If like you tear a pec, you shrug. The worst thing is like probably tearing a hamstring, ACL or MCL, because if it's not put back correctly, or even if it is, it's going to be a lifelong injury.
Exercise 1, write out the word superset, and directly underneath that, the number 2. Exercise number 2 for the pecs will be the incline press, preferably on a machine such as the Smith, Hammer, Icarian, or Nautilus. If you don't have any machine for the incline press, you may perform either regular free weight barbell incline presses or incline dumbbell
I
presses.
prefer the dumbbells.
Exercise number 2 should be performed for 1 to 3 reps, not 6 to 10, 1 to 3 reps. And make a parenthetic note next to the incline press. Use a fairly close hand grip. Your hands should be slightly closer than shoulder width. What should be wide are not your hands, but your elbows. Flare your elbows way back away from your torso toward your ears, and you'll feel all the stress go into the pecs. Contrary to popular opinion, a wide grip is not the best way to develop pecs. And for beginners, a superset means 2 sets, 1 set of each of 2 different exercises, where the performance of one is followed immediately by the other, as with pec deck,
No rest.
supersetted, or followed immediately by incline press. All right, now write down the word back, still under day 1. Write down the word back, and then the number 1 itself. Exercise number 1 for the back will be close grip, palms up, pull downs, 6 to 10 repetitions. Close grip, palms up, pull downs. Directly underneath that, write down the number 2, which will be regular style, not stiff-legged, but regular deadlifts. There is no superset here, by the way. There will be no superset unless I specify. And where there is no superset, you may rest as long as necessary, but no longer. Don't know.
See, from the bodybuilders I've listened to or follow, um, they do not agree with deadlifts. Mainly reason is a lot of people think deadlifts are pointless for muscle building, but there's nothing more workloaded than a deadlift. Like, yeah, I kind of can lift heavy. I'm not gonna say I can, because I don't think I can. What I do in my brain is not. I wouldn't say it's not good enough, but it's not strong. So like, you see the people like they freak out when they squat heavy or deadlift. I do it and I'm like, okay, I can go heavier. Because if I could do it, it's not heavy enough.
Overcomplicate this.
Back to being the deadlift thing. Bodybuilders that I've listened to say it's too much of a risk and not much of a reward. Because you could pull a hamstring, you could blow out your back, slip a disc. So it's not much of a too much of a risk to reward. But deadlifts are fun. I haven't done them in a while. We need to get back into them.
Use your common sense, let your breathing slow down, and as soon as you feel ready to resume training, do so. Do not allow the workout to degenerate into a race against the clock. And don't malinger either. The regular style deadlift is a very productive exercise. The most productive exercise of all, in fact, because it stimulates so much muscle mass.
It's a full body.
Everything on the backside of the body, from the Achilles tendon to the nape of the neck. However, there is a bit of a risk factor here, not seen with most other exercises, so listen carefully. If you have one available and you are strong enough, use an Olympic bar with a 45-pound plate on each end of the bar, so you don't have to bend over quite so far. Always start with the bar rolled back flush against your shins. Grasp the bar with a slightly wider than shoulder width grip, and use an interlocking hand grip where one hand is overhand, the other hand is underhand. Squat down in such a fashion.
The issue with that is there's been a lot of bicep tears because instead of pulling with your hands over and you're doing this, it's a lot of stress on the bicep tendon.
That your hips are at least slightly lower than your shoulders. And most important of all, keep your back perfectly flat and your head up. Keep your back perfectly flat and your head up. You might even pick out a point on the wall, that crevice where the wall meets the ceiling, and keep your attention trained on that unwaveringly throughout. Then stand up in a deadlift fashion with considerable rotation around the hips until you're standing perfectly straight, no need to arch backwards. Then put the bar back down, reset, and do another. Perform 5 to 8 reps as close to failure as you're willing to go.
And he's talking about just standing up. You see a lot of people, they stand up and then they hinge back where, just spine kind of bends backwards.
If you have problems with your lower back, shrugs may be substituted, and do 6 to 10 reps to failure. That's all on day 1. Just 4 total sets. Then 96 hours or 4 days later is day 2. Then 96 hours or 4 days later is day 2. Write down the words day 2. On day 2, you will train legs. The first exercise is leg extensions, supersetted with exercise number 2, leg press. Now, just to the right of the words leg extension and leg press, using a common bracket or a parenthesis, indicate that each is to be performed for 8 to 15 reps. If you don't have a leg press, substitute squats, preferably in a Smith machine. You're not going to be doing leg curls for a while. Just because an exercise is done traditionally for a certain muscle doesn't mean, of course, that you are morally or legally bound to do it all year round. One of the first lessons I learned as a trainer years ago is that the leg biceps and the biceps of the upper arm overtrain extremely easily. Besides, the hamstrings will receive sufficient stimulation for now from the deadlift and the leg press and the squat. I would like to make a very important point here. This program is designed for the exclusive purpose of marshaling all of your body's energy and resources onto the side of maximum growth in your major muscle groups. Any exercise you might add beyond what is listed here will merely subtract from maximum growth in the major muscle groups. Very often, when I give this program to a phone client, he will say at the end, "Well, Mr. Mincer, I see you don't have me doing leg curls for the hamstrings, in fact. No seated calf raise for the inner calf. No bent over dumbbell concentration curls for the lower outer third of the biceps. And we're not doing this for that and that for this and on ad infinitum." And I respond, "Sir, but that is precisely how you were training before, and that is why you made no progress and were prompted to call me for counseling. You say."
Now, as for a program, and I'm not a trainer, but you shouldn't be flip-flopping through programs like weekly. I'd say like every month people change it up. I'd say at least do it for a good 3 months if you're doing a program. And if you're not really seeing any difference, well, that's the thing. A lot of times is like, it takes a while to see a lot of difference. So maybe, I wouldn't say 3, I'd say 6 weeks, which would be not even, because that's a month and a half. I really don't know. Really don't know. Shit, maybe just try for 6 months. Do something for 6 months. You don't see a difference, try something else.
So burned yourself out with all those exercises. You dug so deep of a hole, your body never had the opportunity to recover from the merely exhaustive effects of the exercise, let alone grow. Why not build a 20-inch arm first, then worry about the details? Remember, the issue of volume in anaerobic exercise is a negative factor, as I stated earlier, and that your purpose is not to see how many sets you can do or how long you can endure. Your purpose is to do the precise amount of exercise required to stimulate growth, then get out of the gym, go home, rest, and grow. After the leg extension, leg press, superset, take a rest, go drink some water, walk around the gym for a minute or two, then finish up quite simply with a set of standing calf raises, 12 to 20 reps. And that is it for day 2. 96 hours, or 4 days after legs, is day 3. On day 3, you'll train delts and arms. Write down the word delts. For delts, you start out with dumbbell laterals. Some people call them side raises, 6 to 10 reps.
I usually do my delts with the days. Lateral raises will be on chest. Front raises will be on leg day. Rear delts will be on back day. And when I do arms, I do a barbell press or dumbbell press.
After a brief rest, but no superset here, proceed to exercise number 2 for delts. Either bend over dumbbell laterals, or if one is available, sit in a pec deck backwards and work your rear delts 6 to 10 reps here too. After delts, you'll work your arms. You might write down the word arms. Exercise number 1 for arms is barbell curls, 6 to 10. 6 to 10 reps with barbell curls. And that is a straight bar, not an easy curl bar. Easy curls do not work the biceps. They work the brachialis on the outer part of the arm. Do straight bar barbell curls. Exercise number 2 for the arms is tricep press downs with either a straight bar or a V bar, but do not use a rope. Do not use a rope, either a straight bar or a V bar. 6 to 10 reps for the tricep press down. And if a press down machine is not available, perform 1 set of lying French presses for 6 to 10 reps.
They're also called skull crushers.
Immediately after the press downs, in superset fashion, proceed to dips between parallel bars for 3 to 5 reps to failure, 3 to 5. If you can do more than 5 reps with your body weight, then add weight. And if you can't do any positive or full range dips, then place a chair or bench between the dip bars, stand up into the straight arm, locked elbow position, and lower yourself in negative fashion, taking several seconds to reach the bottom. Then stand up on the chair into the straight arm position and do it again. When you can perform up to 10 negative dips, with each rep
reps
taking several seconds to complete, you should be able to do regular full range dips. Okay, 96 hours later is day 4.
Thanks for watching.
96.
Now, just to reiterate, this is about growth. It's not about toning. So, just make that clear. It's about growth. We're trying to grow here.
Hours later is day 4. Legs. Yes, legs again. This time you will start with leg extensions and follow immediately in superset fashion with Smith machine or free weight squats, but don't do hack squats unless absolutely forced to do so. Hack squats are not very productive, and they stress the knees inordinately. You will perform the leg extensions differently this time, using approximately 30 pounds more than the last time when you perform the leg extension with the leg press. You will do but 1 positive rep, lifting the lower legs until they are in the straight leg lock knee position. You will hold that position statically. This is called a static hold rep. The weight will be sufficiently heavy so that you're limited to holding the straight leg lock knee position for approximately 10 to 25 seconds. There will come a point during that period, of course, when you won't be able to hold it anymore, and you'll say to yourself, if I don't start to lower this thing in the next moment or two, it's going to go crashing down. Do not let that happen. When you recognize it's necessary, lower the legs slowly in controlled negative fashion, not hyper slow or imperceptibly slow, but under strict control all the way down to the bottom. And make sure that you keep your buttocks planted firmly in the seat, as there is a tendency to want to come up off the seat when your thighs are burning and torque it down. Do not torque it down, lower with the strength of the thigh muscles alone. Then proceed immediately to the squat and perform 8 to 15 reps to failure. Take a rest for a couple minutes, go get some water, and finish once again with a set of standing calf raises 12 to 20. And then 4 days later, you start over with day 1 and repeat the 4-workout protocol as already described. Whenever I have a superset listed, as with pec deck and incline press, or leg extension leg press, or leg extension squat, start the warm-up on the second exercise. For instance, when performing the leg extension squat superset, if you start with the leg extensions without having first warmed up the glutes, spinal erectors, and so forth, by doing a couple of sets of squats first off, as you finish the leg extension and you're heading to the squat, you'll say to yourself, but my goodness, I forgot to warm up for the squat. Same thing with the incline press and the leg press. By warming up on the second exercise first, you cover all your bases in terms of a warm-up, and you'll also have the weight set on that exercise so that you may perform a true superset, where one exercise is followed immediately by another with no rest in between. And please, don't change the sequence of exercises I've listed. Everything I've given you here was for a good reason, which is not to say that you can't periodically change exercises, although I would be hesitant, as the exercises listed are all the best ones for the muscles involved. And don't make the mistake of gauging or evaluating the success of any one of these workouts by the standard of feeling, whether or not you get sore or achieve a pump. I see certain people who have been training at Gold's Gym in Venice, California for hours every day for years. If achieving a pump was a surefire indication that growth was stimulated, these people would have 28-inch arms by now, as they get pumped every time they work out. The pump, of course, is only temporary and does not indicate that growth was stimulated.
The pump is pretty much just blood flowing to your muscles, so they get tight and they feel bigger. And it's literally the point a lot of people work out is they want to feel like they're always having the pump.
And if getting sore was necessary, I never would have won a physique title, as I almost literally never got sore, usually only after a layoff. You can only evaluate the success of any one of these workouts by whether or not you're stronger the next time you perform that workout. So, keep a training journal as described in the value-added booklet. I would suggest that if you have been training recently without a layoff prior to the time you intend to start
the information
program,
on my phone.
Take a break entirely from training for 2 to 3 weeks. Having been overtrained, you've made a deep, too deep, an inroad into your body's recovery ability. It is important that this inroad be overcome so that when you start with a properly conducted high-intensity routine, your body will have recovered all the biochemical resources necessary for optimal growth production.
Key takeaways from the 4-day workout plan. The protocol focuses on specific muscle groups on each day, with day 1 targeting the chest and back.
See, what I will say that I do not agree with about his routine is rest periods important? Yes. Do you need that many? I don't believe so. Because as the saying goes, if you want to get better at something, you do it more often. So, it's something you could play with. Oh, that's crazy. Oops, that's it. So, now we're going to go to Google. What's his toning? Training routine, style, method, results, frequency. Master training. Oh shit. Or toning. Complete guide. Workout routine, heavy duty bodybuilding. Let's see what this has to do. Or is it just going to try and sell me a book? Philosophy, wildlife measures. Okay. Alright, the workout plan. It is... Alright, well. It's literally nothing he just explained, so... It's bullshit. The ultimate workout diet. Mike Metzer. He had a brother. They both died. I think his brother's alive. He died, though. Unfortunately, this guy had a huge grudge against Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he let it go. He let it get to him to the point where it destroyed him. Like, to the point where he was a shadow of himself. Which was crazy. He held a grudge that hard that it pretty much destroyed his life. Oops. Alright, so everything's pretty much sending me to, heavy duty endurance, workout system. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Well, the years between 79 and 80. High intensity training hit. This is, I think it's the other guy, Arthur Jones. Yeah. I think he is the creator. Jones' ideas try to move the public notion of bodybuilding and strength training exercise away from the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Alright, so he was probably around the time Arnold him. But yeah, he was all about high intensity too. Pretty much you can get a great workout in a short period of time just by doing it properly. And like, I could probably crank out a workout within an hour. I could hit all 3 heads of my chest at least twice. Because I will have a short period of time for rest. Yeah, he is the guy that created high intensity training. Well, not created it, but he kind of patented it. Patented it? So, like I said before, earlier, soon to be training days for me is on one day, off the next. And I'm going to do that 4 days a week. Because yes, I could train every 4 days, but I really feel I would not see any difference. Because personally, if I don't work out, I do get weaker. And as I said before, the guy that was talking about it, Mike Metzer, he was a bodybuilder in the 70s, 80s. They were on steroids. They weren't on today's steroids, but they were definitely on steroids. So, if you thought it was a good idea, you should really give it a try of high intensity training with weights. I'm going to stick to my 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps. Heavy weights, and hopefully I can lose my gut before the summer's over. And then when the summer is over, that's when I'm going to start shelling food in my face again and trying to get stronger. And then the goal for the winter, before, say 35, I would like to deadlift 600 pounds and squat close to 5. Maybe if I buy elbow sleeves and wear wrist straps, I could probably get the 315 bench press. But without steroids, I can only get to a certain level of strength that's possible natural. So, if what he said was interesting at all, I suggest do your own research. Apparently he has a book you could buy. You could even do the 4-day training every 4-day training, so like twice a week training. And if it works out for you, it works out for you. But I hope this video was somewhat informational and helping you understanding high intensity training, which this was more or less Mike Metzer's high intensity training. I should probably do a video of the other guy. Probably need to do some research first. But if you enjoyed it, I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, follow me on all the other shit I'll have in the description down below. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Well, you'll see me. I'll imagine you.